Hey guys, I'm Terry, and that's Nick, and we are ready to break down our eighth and final playoff series that we have in the 2023 Stanley Cup playoffs here between the LA Kings and the Edmonton Oilers. This is, I don't want to say all playoff series are going to be good. Obviously, 16, the top 16 of all 32 teams, we're going to have good matchups. But this one here, I think is going to be a really exciting, fun matchup to watch between the Kings and the Oilers. And Nick, you get to start this one off, I believe. How can the LA Kings? Actually, no, because you got Winnipeg. You got Winnipeg first. I get to start this one off. How can the LA Kings win this series? I'm not going to say stop McDavid because that's not going to happen. You can't. You cannot stop McDavid. But slow down McDavid. If you can slow down this Oilers offense, if you can stay out of the penalty box, that is a key. If LA Kings want to win the series, stay out of the penalty box. Do not give Edmonton power plays. Play a defensive style hockey against this Oilers team. Try to shut them down to the best of your ability. And I think that's how the Kings win, is if they do that, is if they stay out of the box and if they can not stop McDavid because it's not going to happen, but if they can limit him and what he's able to do, I think they can win this series. The LA Kings. Nick, Kings, how can they win the series against the Oilers?
Play the style of hockey that you did in the beginning of the season. I remember watching the LA Kings taking on the Edmonton Oilers earlier in the season. The Kings won the game 2-1. They played a defensive style of hockey. They kept McDavid and Draisaitl to the outside, and they played a perfect playoff style hockey game. That's what you're going to have to do. Here's the problem with that is Edmonton's been able to learn how to do the same, and we'll get into that with Edmonton when we ask how they can win the series. Pretty simple. They're going to have McDavid and Draisaitl not kill you. And exactly what you said, keep out of the box because this is a historically good power play. They're going to need Copley or Korpisalo to show up. I think it should be Korpisalo game one maybe. But that's honestly a toss-up on who it could be. And I think this goaltending matchup is about even, whether it's Copley, Korpisalo versus Skinner. I think they're pretty even. So it comes down to the offenses in this. And if you're the LA Kings, you're not going to be able to outscore the Edmonton Oilers. That's just not how it's going to be. You're not going to be able to do it. Pretty plain and simple. You're going to have to just limit them as to your best of your ability. I've seen them with that game plan this year where they're able to slow down this Oilers team. I think the series may have more unders than people may think it is because people are going to see the Edmonton Oilers as this high-flying offense. This team can play unders. We saw that in the last couple weeks of the season. This Edmonton Oilers team knows how to play responsible defensive hockey, and we've seen that recently. So maybe some unders in this series as well. I think that Edmonton's learned how to play good defensive hockey. And for the Kings, though, you're going to have to play more defensive hockey because you're not going to be able to outscore Edmonton.
Yes. The Oilers, Nick. How can the Oilers win this series?
It's pretty simple. Have McDavid and Draisaitl, and more importantly than McDavid and Draisaitl, though, Nugent Hopkins, Evander Kane, players along those lines, Evan Bouchard. Get some depth scoring. I think we've said this for years and years and years with this team. We know McDavid's good. We know Draisaitl is good. We need somebody other than those guys to score goals. And when it comes to this team, play good defensive playoff style hockey. We've seen you've been doing it for a month now. You finished the season on a 15-0-1 run. This is an Oilers team that's coming in. Use your momentum from the last month of the season to ride through the playoffs here. This is a very, very dangerous Edmonton team. I think this is the best Edmonton team we've seen in the McDavid era. So I think this team, obviously, you need scoring from McDavid, Draisaitl. You're not going to be able to win this game without them. On the flip side, you need your depth scoring as well. And play the same hockey you have for the last month because you were the best team in hockey the last month of the season. I don't think it was particularly close. And that's including the Boston Bruins in there. The Oilers played like the best team in hockey last month. So continue playing that way and cruise through this first round. A couple weeks ago, I thought LA had a chance in this series. I truly did. I don't see that anymore. I truly don't. LA kind of fell off a little bit. They limped into the playoffs, and Edmonton went off to So I see this as an Edmonton series, and we'll get into that with the series predictions.
All right. Yes, LA kind of dropped off. So did Minnesota, but it's partly the schedule. I try not to. Obviously, how you head into the playoffs is very important, but the, as much as everyone looks at the Boston Bruins and what they did, it's a new season. As soon as this starts, what happened the last week, what happened the whole entire year, doesn't exist anymore. It's what happens right now. Everyone starts fresh, and the Kings have an opportunity to start fresh here. The Oilers, how do they win? Um, by scoring goals on this LA Kings goaltending. And this is the most interesting series when it comes to goalies, because I think this is one of the only series where I think we could see all four goaltenders play at certain times. Skinner, if he gets lit up for 5 or 6 goals, we could see some overs here. I'm not saying it's going to be a heavy over series. I'm not really sure what to expect for the total, but if let's say LA comes out and scores 3 quick goals on Skinner, he could get pulled. That's for sure. And LA, like Minnesota, could play both goaltenders in the playoffs. So that's a thing the Edmonton Oilers are going to have to do, as well as prepare for both goalies. And that is a little bit of a disadvantage. But LA as well is going to have to prepare for both goalies. I think Edmonton wins this series by having home ice, I think is huge, and wins it with their offense. I think that's how they win it. And I do think Edmonton wins. This Edmonton Oilers team, I think, is just a little bit too powerful for the LA Kings. I think could be a series that goes 7. I probably think it probably finishes with 6, but I like the Oilers here. I think they get the job done. They're just a little bit too strong, I think, for this LA team. Nick, what do you think?
This is an Oilers team I have. This is the 5th of 5 teams that I have futures on. Oilers and 5 in the series. I think that stylistically they match up really well against the Kings, and this is an Oilers team coming in super hot, and I think they continue the momentum through multiple rounds in this. I think this could be, if we're looking for a Canadian team to break the streak of Stanley Cup losing for Canada, it's the Edmonton Oilers. I have them to win the West at $3 and to win the Cup at $7.50 as well. I really think this Oilers team is extremely strong this year. I think we see potentially a rematch of last year's Western Conference Finals, and I think this is a team that can make the Stanley Cup. So I think they cruise in this first round. The Kings, they're building up to something really good. I think they're going to be really good next year as well. But I like the Oilers in 5 here.
All right. One thing to touch on too, Fiala has been hurt. It doesn't sound like he's going to play for game 1. So that hurts, not having him. Not that he's a huge playoff performer, because he can definitely disappear in the playoffs. We've seen it with him before. But that definitely hurts the LA Kings. But that's it. If you want to see the other, we have done all 8 series. You can find it on Earl Sports Bets. You can find it on Getting Wild, either YouTube channel. The videos are there. You can find them on Twitter. Subscribe to both channels. Hit the like buttons. We appreciate all the support. Tune into both of our shows. Pretty much, or we do them daily. Mine are pre-recorded in the weekend, but Earl Sports Bets daily, and then my live show daily during the week as well. But thanks for watching, guys, and best of luck to whoever you're cheering for in this playoffs. And we'll see you guys again